Well, hello, hello, and welcome to the Coaching Business Spotlight Show. I'm your host, Kat Knecht, and I'm excited to share with you today some tips, tricks, hopefully insights that will be helpful when it comes to growing your coaching business and yourself, because as we know as coaches, those things go together. This winter, we've been exploring how to bring a vision to life. Right. We started actually back last year and we've gone through in January and February of this year looking at visions, planning, how to really organize that things in your schedule so you can take those small steps to make that vision a reality. Today, the topic I'm going to add into this mix is process. I'm not talking about process coaching. If you're a coactive coach, that's a coactive principle. This is about how to make your vision a reality using processes. How to create the right processes. So it's that not only you make one thing happen, right? Think about one thing on your vision that you want to make a reality. Yes. But if you have a good process, you're going to stay in motion, right? A process, and I'm making my hands go if you're just listening and not watching. A process makes things go. It's you do the same things over and over again. You're focused on what is the process so that you can evolve your coaching business, you can grow, make more money, grow yourself, and focus on the process, not the problem, right? This is what we talk about in coaching. We want to focus in coaching, we want to focus on the person, not the problem. And in this I'm going to turn that around a little bit today and have you focus on the process, not the problem and not even the activity. Okay, here's something that I have to get done, but think about what is the process that will help get that done, right? In a way that it can keep going and you can keep going with it. So, in my blog this week, I have a story. I'm going to talk a little bit about this story because this is something that has stayed with me, and now I think it's probably been 30 years since I first experienced this. So just a little. I'm going to give you just a little. What is it? What's a word for something small? Just a small story that focuses on why it's so important to have a process. And this is a story that was really revolved around my first marriage and needing help with my marriage. So again, as I'm telling the story, I want to make those connections for you with your business because you all need help with your business. We all need help with our business. And I found a person to help me. His name is Harville Hendrix. He wrote the book Getting the Love You Want. He's an amazing person and leader, and he taught me so much about this. So what I learned, I went to one of his workshops, and this was a workshop for couples, and he had us all talking first of all about like why we were there, what our vision was for our marriage, and really looking at what were some of the problems that we wanted to have him help us solve. And he let us know right from the beginning that he was actually not going to help us solve those problems. Instead, he was going to teach us a process. And he actually had us for that first evening. I think it started in the evening. I remember walking around the hotel, and all of us were going around the hotels. This was his line: "It's not the problem, it's the process." It's not the problem, it's the process. So think about that when it comes to your coaching business. It's not that you have problems, it's that there's a process that maybe you don't know yet or you haven't thought of. It might not even have occurred to you. Because so often when we get challenged, we get stuck. We think, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do this. That's when the saboteur gets really, really happy with us because, okay, good, you're stuck. I've got you back. And it's so important to learn a process. Now, Harville taught us a process for couples, which was around listening and really taking in what the other person had to say and making sure that it made sense to us. And it was really, really hard to do, but it worked. And it taught me in that one weekend workshop, not just about the problems that I was having in my marriage, but how I could approach things from that with that perspective. Let's say, oh, there's a process here that I don't yet know. I haven't discovered, or I haven't even there, I know what I want, right? So think about that when it comes to your coaching business. You know what you want. You know what you want to achieve. And again, we're looking at your vision, what you want to make a reality this year. You have things on your vision. You know, oh, this is it. Then and it's usually around, it has to do with clients and money, and maybe there's a way you want to be presented in the marketplace out there in the world as a leader having an impact. So here's the here's the tip for that is trust the process. And trust in that there is a process to help you, that's going to actually help you take whatever tasks need to be done, whatever it is, ways that you need to grow, and help you actually create the process. So it's not a one time thing. And here's the other piece that's so valuable. It's like this is something you can come back to again and again and again. I'm thinking of so many times I've gotten to a place in my business. It's an ongoing process. I've been in business for over 20 years. And when I come to the place of, oh, I don't know what to do, I now know, well, let's see what like where are things breaking down? Perhaps I have had a process that's broken down and I need to reconfigure it, or I might not even have a process in place because the saboteur convinces us, right? The saboteur, it's like black and white, it's this or that, and usually we get boxed in. And we that's where the stuckness happens. We're like, oh, neither one usually feels like a great way to go. Often the saboteur is encouraging you to do something that's not out of your comfort zone. I'm going to say no. The saboteur wants to keep you in your comfort zone and is encouraging you to avoid the hard things. Has that ever happened to you? Like avoid the thing, and I say the hard thing, and I just posted this today in my community from Brene Brown, because the hard things are uncomfortable, they're vulnerable, and they're usually are going to take time and attention. And this word that I'm bringing in today, and some kind of a process to move you forward. And some of the things in the process, you're not going to know what they are. That's part of the vulnerability. So I'm going to take you through a process right now just to give you a glimpse of how this might work for you. In my training course, Evolve Your Coaching Business, I have a training called Systems, Structures, and Support. I actually have a game, and there's a game board that goes with it. So if you're in my course and listening to this in my community and you haven't played that game, I encourage you to do it, because it actually takes I've put it in lines, like there are all these things that need to get done, right? These are the ones just top of mind. Like there's what we call maybe the marketing funnel, like how you reach clients, how you enroll them to have a consultation or a sample session with you, like what is the process you use to talk to them about how you might help them, and then they sign up for your services. So you can see, just as I've laid that out right there. I really get so irritated. This has been since the beginning for me when I hear coaches say, I just need to get clients. Can you help me get clients? Like you're going to the store to get milk. And it's not, and even in there's a process, but it's like, oh, what's the process to reach people who need my help, and then show them what I can do for them so that they sign up for my services and I help them and I make money doing what I love. So it's not just a task. Does that make sense? Getting clients isn't a task. It's a process, and it can be a fun and creative process. I want to put this in here because I know many of you have worked in organizations. I've worked in organizations who set up processes that are like, have people like a machine. They set up a process for efficiency. right? They want to get things done in the quickest way possible. I'm not encouraging that for you. This is for you to set up processes that work for you, for who you are, your strengths, your talents, the way that you pace yourself. You can actually create the process. This is why process is also such a great thing to include that. This is what we've talked about in my past shows about planning and looking at calendars. So when you think about this one process about client enrollment, you want to include all the steps that it takes, what all the things you're going to do in that process. That from from the first having your niche, creating a message, reaching that person, enrolling them to sign up for your services, and include a time frame that it's about you as a person, because this is what's so special. That's why my thumb is up. Yes. It's so special about a coaching business. It actually requires us to be ourselves, to be present, and to bring our very best self forward. That's the good news. But that means that it's going to probably take you longer than if you work for an organization and they wanted you to get something done fast, right? And you got burned out and exhausted and wanted to quit. I'm encouraging you to create process that does the opposite, that have you feel nourished and present and brings your creativity alive. So here's a couple, I'm going to go down a couple of other areas. A website. So often people who come and work with me in my program say, Kat, I need a website, as if, again, it's something you can go to the store and pull off of a shelf. It's a huge process because on your website, you want to have your presence, your personality, your message, what you most want people to know about how you can help them and what's possible for them. You want to have your brand. So that's, again, your personality, the colors that are right for you. You want people to see your website and go, oh, I know who you are and I get what you do. And I'd like to know more. That's a process, many steps. But and I want to layer this in as we go through the other areas that need a process. Once you get the process going, you can keep it moving. It's not like, okay, I've created a website, now I'm done. Because websites need refreshed and you might get a new idea, some new offering you want to put on it. So you're creating it so you can continually evolve, and you evolve with it, and you evolve it as your business grows. The next one, again, this is probably when I think about the things that people come to me for help with in my, with my program, the Soldierman Success training program, they're looking for help with, getting clients. They want to have a website and they ask me, what about social media? Should I do Instagram or Facebook? Or what do you think about LinkedIn? I want you to really just, you dial that back and think about, what is social media? What's the point? You want to first think about, what's the point of social media? Well, social media is just a place you go, in your personal life to connect with people. In your professional life, it's the same, only different, but you're wanting to connect with people. You want to know about them. You want them to know about you. So you'll want to create a process that has you putting things, posting things, commenting on other people's posts, making videos, perhaps, putting out a message, engaging in the marketplace so that you create more and more connections with people who you don't know, you haven't previously known, but you create those connections from people you know now, the people they know, the people they know. So social media process is really, it's a process. You need to stay in it. You're going to be out there engaging and you can't just set something up, although they're wonderful things to set up, but you also need to keep engaging. So you want to create a process, again, that suits your personality. If you are a person who hates social media, then set up a social media process that makes it fun for you, where you actually think about, what is it you love about connecting with people? Make sure you put that into your process. That's a big area. I'm just touching on things here. The next one, money, right? You want to have a process. This is really important. I find for me, my money really loves it when there's an organization. When things are nice and neat, there's an easy way for it to flow in, to keep it tracked. So you want to have this is where systems come in, but also a process that goes with those financial systems. A process to check to see how much money are you making? How much are you spending on your business? What is the net? What is it getting you? Where are you when it comes to where you want to be? Not to give you a hopelessness, but to give you hope like, oh my gosh, I'm further along than I was a year ago, and I'm further along than I was 3 months ago, and a process so that the finances feel you can feel the flow of that. Same with the scheduling and other admin things. Okay, now I'm going to go to the place of you, the process, the processes you need for yourself. As a coach, it's a requirement that you have processes for your well-being. You have processes in place to rest, to get restored. I often talk with people in my community. We have big conversations about this on our group calls where we're like, because often they'll come and they'll be like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed, or I'm out of balance. I feel ungrounded. And we'll look at, well, what's the process that keeps you restored? Usually there are things like taking walks in nature, taking time off, regular breaks during the day, spiritual practices, things that have your body feeling good, ways that you eat, ways that you think, right? Really super important. This is what we do for our clients is we help them with these things. We help them with the well-being and how they take care of themselves and ways that they think, that mindset. And I'm just kind of laughing as I even think of that word mindset, because it's not you want to have the mindset that has you feel your most powerful creative self is running your business, and that there's a process to keep that mindset nourished and in touch with it. This means you need support. You need help. You need other people. That's why I have created a community, it's Soul Driven Success community, that you are a part of if you're listening to this podcast, because I have a free community that I welcome all coaches to join so they can connect with me personally and connect with other coaches so you know that you're not alone. And if it's not my community, I encourage you to find another community so that you have this process for yourself. Don't just put it, oh, I'm going to, be a part of a group this week. Think about, how is that going to be ongoing for you? How do you want to stay connected to people? How do you want to keep learning and growing so you learn the things you need to about your business, but also about yourself? It's a requirement. It's essential for you as a person to keep growing and learning and stretching yourself and having fun, having your business growing be an adventure. Okay. Here we are. I'm going to come down to the last piece, and this is connected to what I've talked about in previous podcasts, which is the planning process. And in one of my blogs recently, I broke it down. You can either you're a person who loves to plan, or you're one of those people who's like, no, I want to be spontaneous. So here's what I'm going to encourage you to do is to look at what is your planning process that includes both of those things. Because I think it's important for all of us to have spontaneity where those creative juices go, ooh, here's what I feel like doing today. This is what's jazzing me. Here's what makes me alive in this moment in time. And you have things that are set on your calendar, in your schedule, so that you can look forward to them, so that you can track, oh, I'm moving closer. I've put the time into my schedule so I can create this business, this next piece that's important. And this is what I'm going to encourage you to do today. This is my tip for the day from the Coaching Business Spotlight Show, which is to think about the processes that you can put into a plan, right? What are the process that's going to have you, whatever it is that's up for you, getting those, enrolling new people, new clients, having a more of a presence out there in front of other people, having more impact. What are the processes? And part of this encouragement is to stop thinking about one-off tasks. Oh, I got to get that done. I mean, I do have a task list, but make sure that your tasks are a part of a process. It's not just something you check off at the end of the day or the end of the week, but you look at to see, well, what's that task? What process is it a part of? So you can see your progress and make sure the things that you are doing every day and every week are actually getting you what you want. And this is the second part of this message around the planning and kind of where I'm going to land it with you. So often we think about, again, where I started, problems, challenges, and our there's something in us, we get afraid. We just want it handled. We just want the solution. Right? You ever thought that way? Because I think that way all the time. Oh gosh, I just want to get this over with. Instead, I'm going to offer, it's a higher level, it's a higher bar, is to say, okay, so there's a challenge in front of me. Call it a problem if you would like to. What's the opportunity here for me to put something in place that's going to help me navigate this time, help me look at this challenge and face it so I can move past it, overcome it, learn something from it. And the other piece is what may be missing in my current process. So pick the area that you're challenged and take a look at what's the process by which you are moving forward in this area and what might be a missing piece that you can simply put into the process. Maybe you're not giving yourself enough time. Maybe you need more help. Maybe if you're thinking about it, there's this place, maybe there's something you don't know. Put that into your process. Okay, it's because it's not just a problem, as Harville Hendrix, this was his thing. It's not just a problem, and I'm going to say it's a process. The process by which you learn, you grow. This is the process by which you become more and more of your better, higher, more wonderful, yummy self so that you can have the impact you want to have in the world, grow your business, have fun, and and experience the joy that comes from being able to really bring your best self forward in service of others. Thank you for joining me today. I love to hear comments. I love it when I hear comments. People go, "Ooh, this part of your message really jazzed me up." Or, if you have a question, simply reach out to me. Thanks for joining me today. I look forward to talking to you next time.